Yeah, good morning. Good morning to this session on how to use Algomojo for automating your strategies. My name is Lokesh. I'm part of the Algomojo team. I will take you through the process of automating any of your strategies that you would have in the charting tools like TradingView, AmiBroker, Charting, Ninja Trader, MT4, etc. So if you have any strategies running there and they're giving you signals for entry and exits, you will be able to automate those signals and place orders using your in your broker account. It's a very simple process that we have developed, and a lot of people have been using pretty easily for a very very long time. You will find it is quite easy and convenient to use. If you have any specific questions, please use the chat box to type out your questions. I'll try and answer those questions as we go along. Let's try and keep this session as interactive as possible. Ask as many questions related to the platform and the features that we have. I'll be able to clarify. This session is also getting recorded. In case if you'd like to go through it again, towards the second half, the recordings will be made available. We will start the small presentation and then get into the actual platform usage. Yeah, to begin with, we'll look at what are the features and facilities that are available in the Algomojo platform. Then we will look at the process involved for automating or integrating with TradingView. In case if anybody is interested in looking at AmiBroker, kindly let me know. We'll be able to see AmiBroker integration also if required. Otherwise, main focus would be on TradingView. Uh, Yes, a brief about the Algomojo support systems, and ask any query related to the platform and how to use it using the chat box. So I'll be able to answer them or show them if you have any specific strategy or specific indicator that you use in TradingView and like to see how to place orders using Algomojo as a platform into a broker account. Do let me know. I'll try and show that in this session. Yes. Yeah, Algomojo is a web-based platform. We don't have any mobile app or a desktop app as such. Using any broker, you will be able to log into Algomojo and start using all the features and facilities that we provide. One point to note at the beginning of the session is that we are a bridge provider. We act like a bridge between your charting tool and your broker account. Um, we are not in the business of providing any recommendations for strategies or any recommendations to buy or sell or enter or exit into trades as such. We don't offer such kind of services. We are not an advisory per se. We are just a bridge provider. We act like a we come in between your charting tool and your broker. We pick up the signals that your strategies would be running in your charting tool and place those as orders into your broker account. So we are a simple bridge provider between these two platforms, your charting tool and your broker. We have integrated with the with TradingView, AmiBroker, MT4, Charting also. So if you have any strategies running in these platforms, you'll be able to automate those strategies or those indicators as such. We provide API connectivity with close to 35 brokers as of now. I'll share the list of the brokers with whom we have done the API integration. So if you have an account with any of these brokers, you'll be able to start using our platform for automation. So whatever codes or modules that are required for automating your strategies would be provided by us. So as a user, you need not have to have any kind of coding or programming knowledge at all. All you have to do is copy paste a couple of things from our platform onto your charting tool. That's it. The entire process is very, very simple of copy paste of certain codes or certain lines into the code. And the orders can happen or get placed automatically into your broker accounts. Um, okay. Now, in case if you have any strategy that you would like to see in TradingView, let me know. I will try and show that also. Yes, if it is freely available and if it can be automated, we can check it out during this session itself. Yes. So we have try to keep the entire process as simple as possible. So you need not be a programmer, you need not have to have any coding knowledge, you need not have to create any fresh setups in your code. It's a simple copy paste of one or two things, and you're ready to take up the trades or run the strategies for placing orders automatically. Yeah, sure. There are certain rules that we have set in our platform. We will go through those rules when we reach to that point in terms of usage of those rules while creating a strategy in Algomojo. Yes. Yeah. The advantage being that you can decide what is that you want to trade, whether you want to trade in equities, whether you want to trade in futures, or whether you want to trade in options. You can make that decision. You're not bound by what is available in our platform. You're bound by more of your decision as to how to trade, what to trade, when to trade. So those decisions can be made at your end. It is not dependent on the platform itself. So you can trade in options like ATM, OTM, or ITM. Up to 20 strikes in the money and out of the money can be defined for trading purposes. And if you are a buyer, definitely you can use this. And if you want to write strategy, write options, that's also possible. Whenever there's a signal coming in, you can either write a call or write a put based on those signals that are coming in. And if you would like to hedge your positions along with taking a trade in options, that's also possible. Yes. Now, in case if the order quantity is huge, we will take care of the splitting of those orders for placing multiple orders based on the freeze quantities set by the exchanges. In terms of risk management, you can set targets, you can set stop loss, you can set trailing stop losses in our platform itself. Now, in case if your strategy itself is taking care of these parameters, then you can ignore those in our platform. You can just use it to pass the signals coming based on the entry, target, or stop losses as such. Now, when it comes to target, stop loss, and trailing stop losses, you can set them based either on points, or you can do that in terms of premium of the options, or it can be based on MTMs also. So you can set it as a percentage, or you can set it as points, or you can set it also as MTM. Now, if suppose say that you have a target of say 100 points in a Nifty future, you can set the target as 100 points. If you want the stop loss to be 0.5%, you can set that as 0.5% of your the entry point or the average price that in which the entry was taken. So if you say 0.5% is what you're willing to let go in terms of stop loss, you can mention that. And if the stop loss is hit, the position will get closed automatically. Or if your targets are met, the position will get closed automatically. It will be sent to the broker and, for placing the order, and the positions will get closed. You can set in terms of timings as to when you want to trade, whether you want to trade throughout the day, or you want to trade only during the first 1 hour or 2 hours when the volatility is very high, or you would like to trade once the market stabilizes, say from 11 o'clock till say 2:30 or 2 o'clock also. So you can define the time during which you would like to place orders or take the positions as such. So you have that flexibility built in our system. If you have any queries, please use the chat box to type out your queries. I'll try and show them or answer them as we go along. Now, for all users, we provide paper trade facilities. Our recommendation is that you start with the paper trade first, then look at how the orders are flowing. If the orders are flowing as per your strategy expectations or as per your requirements, then you can go into live trades. Now, for all users, we provide up to 6 strategies that can be tested on paper trade. And once you see the orders going through as per your expectation, you can go in for live trade. Uh, Point to note is that paper trade as a facility is being extended to check the process of how the orders are flowing. It is not to be used as a back testing tool or a forward testing tool, because in our platform we don't have such a facility for testing your strategies for back testing or for forward testing or walk forward kind of uh, parameters as such. I'm not sure what putty is. Somebody has got a query. Can I enter putty? I'm not sure what it is. You need to explain that, sir. Let me understand and then revert back to you. Uh, yeah, in terms of if you're a positional trader or a swing trader, if you'd like to roll over your contracts, you can do that. The system can help you to automatically close the existing contract and take up the new contract towards the expiry. You can set in terms of date and time when you want the expiry the rollovers to happen. Accordingly, our system will close the existing contract and take up the new contract. Now, if you're a trader and you would like to limit the number of trades that you take, there's a provision in our system where you can say that I don't want to take more than, say, 4 trades in a day. So, if there's a fifth trade coming in, the system will not place those orders. It will limit to whatever settings that you have done. By default, it is set to take all the orders processed or all the signals received throughout the day. And in case if you'd like to limit, there's a facility available. Kindly make use of that also. Yeah, in terms of placing an order based on a certain strike price, yes, you have something called a static strike price that you can use. But however, there's no flexibility in our system to say check if a particular price premium is at a certain price point, and then if it reaches that price point to place an order. For example, if you're looking at an ATM strike and you would like to take an entry for, if it comes to say something like 100 rupees at any point in time during the day, such a facility based on premium is not currently available. What you can set is either to place an order on ATM or ITM or OTM. You can select up to 20 strikes in the money or out of the money. So whenever there's a signal coming in for an entry or an exit, if you have set, say, something like an ITM 5, so when the signal is received, we will check what is the spot price for the instrument that you're trying to trade. And if you've selected ITM 5, we will calculate what is the ITM 5 strike price and send that particular order to the exchange for execution as such. But based on premium, no, currently it is not available. Now, if you're an options trader and you'd like to place multiple orders based on a single signal to execute all the legs of an option strategy, you can do that by creating the individual legs and grouping them together and based on a single signal received, all the orders for that particular option strategy can be sent across in the sequence that you would like to get it executed. For example, there are strategies where it would involve option buying and also option selling. So to take advantage of the premiums required, sorry, the margins required, you would like to take an entry in the option buy first, and then maybe the writing of the options after that. Similarly, while exiting, you would like to close the option that you have written first, and then the option that you have bought. So you can set those sequences in the system, and whenever there's a signal coming in, the orders will be sent from our platform onto the exchanges through the broker in that particular sequence. In case you are using Telegram, you can get notifications for all the signals and the orders executed for your strategies. Kindly subscribe or get into a channel called Algomojo Bot. So that is our Telegram channel. Use the client ID there and chart ID, sorry, and configure it in Algomojo for the particular strategy that you're trying to trade. And whenever there's a signal coming in, you will get a notification on the Telegram app. The segments that you can trade would include cash market trades, which can be either intraday or personal trades. Or you can trade in futures. It can be NSE, BSE, and any commodities that you're trying to trade. It's supported in our platform. Only thing that we don't support are the crypto and forex market. It is limited to the Indian exchanges, both BSE, NSE, and MCX. So all the instruments that are provided in these exchanges are supported in our platform for automation purpose. Similarly, in terms of options, you can set either a static option to trade or even a dynamic option. Now, when we say static option, suppose you are a trader, you would like to trade the a particular strike price for the entire day. You can specify that. Suppose you want to trade in, say, 23,500 CE or PE for all the signals coming in throughout the day. You can set that as a strike price. So any signal coming in will be sent to the exchanges for that strike price as such. Or you would like to look at the dynamic strike selection. So based on the signal received time and based on what is the spot price running at that point in time, we will choose the ATM or the ITM or the OTM based on the instrument that you have selected, and at that point in time, what is the ATM price or ITM price and OTM price. Based on your selection, we will get the orders executed through through your broker to the exchanges as such. Yeah, see, when we come to the platform will also show you there could be some limitation in terms of the updation of API based information in the platform, because we depend on the brokers to update certain factors you through their APIs as such. Now, sometimes we have seen in some of the brokers and the API in terms of your profit and loss calculation may not be reflecting the actual stuff. Now, our recommendation has always been that look at the platform more from the perspective of placing an order rather than monitoring for M2M or in terms of your P&L kind of factors, because important thing is to execute the order at as quickly as possible whenever there's a signal getting generated from the charts. Now, to monitor the profit and loss, I would always suggest that your broker terminal will be a better place to get the real-time values as such, because we are dependent on your broker's API to fetch the details in terms of the average price and the current market price or the LTP, do the calculations and display those details on the in our platform as such. However, the order execution, there's no dependency. The signal, whenever it is generated, it comes to Algomojo and we send it to the exchange through a broker with as quickly as possible. And the order executions happens in milliseconds, I would say, nanoseconds to millisecond kind of time frames. So, because we don't do any processing in our platform, we are just a pass through, like a bridge. We pick up the signal from the charting tool which is coming in and send it across to the broker for execution. So there's hardly any processing that we do, which could consume the time for adding to the delays, which is not the case in our case. In our platform, it is just a bridge. So it is a pass through from our bridge, the signal coming in from the charting tool to your broker. Yeah, we will look at how to connect your strategy with different brokers. Surely, when we get into the platform usage, I will show you how to connect it also. Yes. Now, we have API integration done with close to 35 brokers. If you have an account with any of these brokers, you will be able to start using our platform. Please check it out and see if the orders are getting executed as per your requirements, as per your strategy requirements. And in case you find the orders are getting executed as per your requirements, you can get in with you can extend the subscription with us. For all users, we provide 7 days trial period. You get to use all the features and facilities that we provide, and there's no limitation in terms of how many orders you can place, how many features you can test. There's no limitation of that sort. You can try out all the facilities in our platform, and once you find that our platform is able to meet your requirements, only then get into your subscription method as such. Now, there's a special offer in case if you open a new account using Algomojo as a referral with any of these 7 brokers, you get the API charges completely free for life as such. So there's no additional cost involved in terms of API based execution of orders, except that from 1st of April, the static IP is getting implemented or becoming mandatory. The static IP is a resource which we source from the infrastructure providers. So there's a cost associated towards providing that static IP. Only those charges you will need to incur in case if you open a new account with using Algomojo as a referral. Otherwise, there's for the platform, there's no other charges involved as such. Now, if you already have an account and you would like to use our platform, please take the trial period, check it out. And if you find that we are able to add value to your requirements, then you can get into a subscription method with us. Yes. Now, I think from Monday you will have a facility in our platform where you can get the IP details. We will have a process defined. We have a process defined. It will get implemented uh, between today and tomorrow. And from Monday you will be able to see those when you log into your account, how to subscribe for these static IPs, how to get them configured, how to get those registered with your brokers. The entire process document will be available. It's a pretty simple process of activation of these static IPs. So hopefully by Monday morning, you should be able to see that process available when you log into Algomojo. Since it is getting tested, I'm not able to show it during today's demo, but Monday surely you will be able to have a look at it. It's a pretty simple, straightforward process. All you have to do is go register your requirement and then take those IPs and pass it on to your broker's terminal. That's it. There's no other process that will be involved. See, for paper trading, there's no static IP required. All you have to do is take the subscription, or if you have already have an account, take the paper trade, trial period and test it out on paper trade and see if things are going as per your requirements, and then you can go in for subscription for both the platform and also for the static IP. Now, if you open an account using these referral, using Algomojo as a referral, then you get our API charges at zero cost for life. So, only thing that will be required to be subscribed is the IP address. Now, when it comes to automation, it normally happens in two steps. First step is what we need to do in Algomojo platform, and second is what is that? How do we configure in your charting tool? Today's demo, we will look at some examples in TradingView and see how we do the entire automation process as such. Before getting in, going further, let's look at the platform as such. So this is our website, algomojo.com. You can get to know more details about what is Algomojo and what are the facilities available, how to open an account. You can do that from here. So go to this tab called Open Account for getting a new account with Algomojo as a referral. Okay. So once you click on this, it will ask for some details like your name, email ID, and phone number, and select the broker. If you open a new account with any of these 7 brokers, then you will get the platform charges at no extra cost. So once you select a broker, for example, Alliance Blue, and then say submit, it will take you to the Alliance Blue website, and you'll need to complete the process of account opening, provide all the documentation. Normally these account opening happens in a day or two. So once you get your credentials in terms of user ID and password, you can use those and do the automation of your strategies. There'll be no separate login ID or credentials that will be required. You will be using the same credentials that your broker would have given for logging into Algomojo also, and then do the automation. So once you have an account, or if you have an account with any of the 35 brokers that we have listed, you can log into those brokers and check it out for yourself. The way to do it is go to this login button. For today's demo, we'll be using TradeGenie as an account. So I'll say login with the broker. You can otherwise select the broker from the drop down here. All the 35 brokers are listed in this under this drop down. So select the broker with whom you already have an account, and you can try it out. So for login, you will use the same user ID, password, and TOTP that your broker would have defined. Let me log in here. Yeah, so once you enter the credentials, you will get to see this homepage. You have a facility to create watch lists and place orders from here itself. It will give you a brief about what are the funds available, what are the holdings, and what are the positions that are open. Right? Now, on the right side, what you see are the dashboard, orders, trades, and positions and holdings. These will give you details of all the orders that are placed during the day. As such, not limited only to API orders. It could be any order placed directly from your broker account or from your mobile phone, or you would have called the broker and placed certain orders, or you would have sent some API orders. Everything would be listed in the orders tab here, or the trades tab here, or the portion tab here. These will contain the details, exact details of all the trades taken in your account for that particular day. Like if you open a broker's account, whatever you see in terms of orders and trades, this similar thing will be reflected here. Now, for looking at API orders, you'll need to get into a separate tab, which you'll find quite a few tabs on the left side here. The first thing that you'll need to do is to go to this My API and then generate your API as such. Now, when you're logging in for the first time, it will ask you to generate the API, and it will by default give you 7 days trial. Post 7 days trial, you'll need to take a subscription, and the subscription charges would be something like here. If you look at a monthly plan, it is 1,000 rupees per month, and on a yearly plan, it will work out about 500 rupees per month kind of charges as such. So once you have the APIs generated, either for trial or for subscription, or if you have opened an account with Algomojo as a referral, you will get it for life. As you can see, some 8,000 days are left in my account here. So up to 2050 is the validity uh, for these APIs that I've generated in Algomojo. So you will get it for lifetime free as such. And once you have these APIs, the next step is to define what is that you want to trade. That is normally defined under this tab called My Strategies. When you're clicking for the first time, this page will be empty. You'll need to create a new strategy. We call this a strategy because this is what you're defining what to trade in our platform. So it has nothing to do with your actual strategy on, say, the other charting platform. It is more of information as to what is that you want to trade. That is what we are going to define here. See, you will not be able to place orders into forex as such because it is, or even crypto for that matter, because it is not yet allowed or supported in the Indian environment as such. It is limited to NSE, BSE, and MCX. Whenever these segments of forex are opened up, we will definitely look at placing orders using our platform as such. Now, if you're looking at something like gold or even something like currencies that you want to trade, USD, INR, those are still possible. Those are all supported by the Indian brokers. Whatever instruments and symbols are supported by the Indian brokers, you will be able to automate those or place orders into those instruments as such. So it could be gold, it could be aluminium, it could be USD, INR, USD, or INR, JPY, any of these symbols or segments that you want to trade, supported by the Indian brokers, you'll be able to automate them. Yes. Now, use the new strategy button and define what is that you want to trade in this page. Now, start with the name. For today's demo, we will use some Nifty future as the example. Demo 28th March. It can be any name which is convenient for you to remember. There's no requirement in terms of how the name should be defined. It is left to your convenience. Now, the next step is to select the rule. There are 5 rules that we have defined based on all the strategies and requirements of the traders and investors that we have studied over a period of time. Now, these can be classified as long only, short only, long plus short, buy sell, long plus short, buy sell, short cover, and stop and reverse. So if you have any strategy running in any of these charting tools, they would normally fit into any of these 5 strategies or the rules that we'll look at. So what is each of these strategies? You will get a brief if you hover the cursor onto these rules. Now, to tell you briefly, now if you are a trader and if you'd like to take only the long signals, um, use long only as the rule. That is, whenever there's a buy signal coming in, it will take an entry in whatever instrument that you're trying to trade. It could be futures, it could be cash market, it could be options, any of those. It will support only long orders. It will not take the short orders. So when there's a buy coming in, it will take an entry, and when there's an exit coming in, it will close the long position, and after that there will be no new position. So that is how the long only rule will work. Yes, option buying is possible, option selling is also possible in our system. So, suppose you are a trader and you would like to take only short signals, you feel that the market might still keep going down and you don't want to take any new long positions, but you would like to take only short positions, then use the rule called short only. So, what it will do is any signal coming in from your charting tool, it will look for only short signals. It will not process the long signals that are sent. So if there's a short coming in, it will take an entry into a short position. It could be option, like it could buy a PE, or it could take a short position in a futures segment, or it could take a short position in a cash market also for intraday. So, so if you want to trade only short signals, then use the short only as a rule. Now these are signals and not talking about writing of option or buying of options, those kind of things. This is only in terms of what is the kind of signal that you would like to take, whether it is only long signals or whether it is only short signals, or you want to take both. Suppose you want to trade both long and short, then use the third option called long plus short, that is buy sell. So whenever there's a long coming in and it will take a long portion, and when a reversal when a short coming in, it will take a short portion as such. Now there is another variant of long plus short called long plus short buy sell short cover. Now Ivy broker is supports additional action parameters called short and cover. So to help users of Ivy broker, the fourth rule is also defined, which will take care of the short and cover. Otherwise, trading view or charting, normally we see buy and sell as the actions that come in. So if you're using Ivy broker, look at short and cover also. Now, the fifth rule is called stop and reverse. Stop and reverse, to give you an example, something like a super trend, which is always in trade, either long or short. So for such kind of strategies, it could be any other strategies also. It could be a half trend, it could be an UT bot, any of these. So if your strategy is similar to say a super trend in terms of always being in trade, then use a rule called stop and reverse. Now what happens is it will take a long position when there's a buy coming in, and if there's a sell coming in, it will close the long position. That is, it will stop the long position taken and take the reversal of that. So that is why the name stop and reverse. It will close the long and take a reverse position for you. So it will take a short entry also. So for such nature of your strategies, use stop and reverse as the rule. Hope that is clear. Somebody had a query as to the explanation regarding the rules. So these are the five rules. Third and fourth are very similar, except that the fourth rule is more for AMI broker users. We will look at these rules again when we look at a chart. When we go into charting view and look at the chart, I'll give another explanation as to where what could be the relevant rule, because this is the most critical part. If there's any mismatch in the rule that you are used and the strategy that you are running, there'll be a mismatch in terms of the orders getting placed. So the right kind of orders will not be happening, and you might feel that the system is not able to meet your requirements. But however, if you tweak on and use the correct rule, the system should take care of your trading and investment requirements as such. So any queries, please use um, the chat box. I will try and answer them, and I'll try and use them or show them for you. Right now, for the first demo, we'll be using you will be looking at super trend. So let me select this rule called stop and reverse. And next step is to select the segment, whether I want to trade in equities or futures or options. So let's look at the futures as the first example. So select this future and option tab, then specify the trading symbol. For example, if you type the first few letters of the instrument that you want to trade, it will give you a list. Select it from the drop down. Let me select the Mars contract for Nifty here. And yeah, order can be NRML if you are a swing trader. If you're an intraday trader, look at MIS. And price as of now is only market. From 1st of April, another mandatory thing that is happening is that market orders will not be supported by the exchanges and the brokers. So from 1st of April, you will have a facility to use limit orders also in our platform. So you will have two variants of limit orders. One is limit order, wherein you specify the entry point and the trigger point as you normally do on any broker terminal. And the other variant would be that limit market. That is, after a certain price is reached, the entry can happen in the market price. So those are the two variants that will be available. So limit market, you need not have to specify any price. It will take it at the market price once whatever level that you're looking at is reached. Now, there are some brokers who still would continue supporting market orders. However, what happens is we send it as a market order to those brokers. They normally change it to limit and then send it across to the exchanges where it will get executed as a limit order. Even now also it is happening with some brokers. So it will continue in a similar fashion for after 1st of April also. But however, point is from 1st April, you will be able to place limit orders from our system also. So for now, look at market as a default value. And once you have the limit order, you can specify what is the limit entry, the trigger price and the price at which you want the executions to happen. Those parameters will be available. You need to specify those price points also for the limit order to be sent across. Then specify the number of lots that you want to trade. For example, if you want to trade in 100 lots, so as you vary the lots, the quantity also will get updated. Suppose say if you say 10, then it becomes 650. Then if you say 100, it is 6500. Varies depending on the kind of instrument that you are trying to trade, right? Okay. Now, these are some of the things that are mandatory. Like you have to have these fields updated, like what is the segment and what is the instrument and whether it is NRML or MIS and how many lots that you want to trade. These are mandatory. Once you have these updated, you are ready to get into the next stage. Now, in case if you'd like to use the target and stop loss functionality in our system, built into our system, you can update these fields. Like if you want to set targets, you can do it in terms of points or percentage or M2M. Or if your strategy itself is taking care of these parameters like targets or stops or reversals, then you need not have to do anything here in this section. And the third section would be the start time, end time, and square of time. By default, if you want to trade throughout the day of the on the trading day, you need not have to do any changes here. Otherwise, if you want to set the trading time, end time, or start time, you can update them here and save them for the next step as such. So once you have updated these fields to a submission, it will get saved and a webhook URL will be created, which will be unique to this strategy that you're trying to define here or trying to trade. So for every strategy that you want to trade, a unique uh, webhook URL will be created, and this is the most critical part. You have to use this webhook URL in all the charting tools, whether it could be charting or TradingView or AMI Broker or MT4, any of these places. This is what will contain information when it is coming from your chart as to what is that you're trying to do in terms of which instrument you're trying to trade, how many lots are you trying to trade, whether it is intraday or carry forward. All that information we will be able to understand from the webhook URL as such. See, exchanges are making it mandatory that no more market orders uh, from 1st of April. So it has to go as a limit order. It is more of a mandatory requirement that we have to use limit order. So we have to comply with whatever is the exchange requirement. So that's the reason why we are getting into a limit order functionality in our platform also. Now, yes, there could be chances that limit order may not get filled because of the market movements, or to support the kind of requirement that you would have where you would like to place orders near to the market order, there will be something called a limit order market orders, limit market orders. So you can specify if the price reaches to a certain point, after that you would like to take an entry as a market order, it will get executed. So otherwise, like currently what is happening is whenever there's a signal coming in, the orders get executed at whatever is the price. That will not be is not to be supported from 1st of April as per the exchanges. So that is the reason why we are making this change in our system also. And there has been a lot of request in terms of a requirement for a limit order. The second point due to which we have to migrate to limit order kind of functionality and remove the market order completely. The removing of the market order completely is more of a mandatory requirement, exchange requirement. However, the user's requirement has been to look at both limit orders and market orders, which we will be able to do from 1st of April. So once you have saved these details, you have the webhook URL, and there are certain codes that are provided at the bottom for TradingView users. So we will be referring to these details and use them for the next step of automation. So any query in terms of strategy creation in Algomojo, kindly let me know. Let me try and answer them as we are looking at the strategy creation in Algomojo as such. To use the chat box to type out your query. Okay. So once you have set what is that you want to trade, here we are looked at futures. It could be cash segment, it could be option segment, any of those segments. You define what is that you're trying to trade, whether it is MIS, whether it is how many lots you're trying to trade, or you are limiting any number of orders per day, any timings that you have set is all what we define under the strategy page in Algomojo. So it's a one-time setup that you need to do. After that, it will be always available. All you have to do is go back here, and by default, it will be in inactive state. You will need to enable it for paper trade or for live trade. Always start with the paper trade, and once you observe that the orders are getting executed as per your requirements, you can shift over to the live trade. Always test or start with the paper trade, observe how the orders are getting executed for a couple of days, and then if there's any tweaking to be done in terms of, say, rules, or it could be any other parameters, do that. Again, observe and be absolutely sure that the orders are getting executed as per your strategies that you're running in your charting tool, and then shift over to the live traders. Right. Now, the next step is to define or do the process of automation in TradingView. So you need to, just before that, let me mention one more point. So every day morning, you are supposed to log in to Algomojo using the same process. Go to Algomojo here and use the login button and enter your credentials and get into Algomojo platform. Uh, Once you log into Algomojo platform, come to this My Strategies page and enable it for live trade or paper trade. In case if you are not enabled it, then the signals that would be coming in will be rejected, saying that the strategy is not enabled for live or paper trade as such. So be sure that you have enabled the paper trade or live trade. Um, and this you need to do every day in the morning, say around market open time. After you enable this, you can completely shut down your system. You need not be sitting in front of your computer at all. Close the browser. If the internet is working, not working, it doesn't matter. All that is required is to log in. After that, just don't log out from here. Don't log out using this button. So once you log in, we are aware that so and so user has logged in the morning, and you'd like to take all the trades coming in as per the definition of the strategy that he has done, and he has enabled it for paper trade or live trade. This information will be available with us, and any signal coming in from your charts, we will get them executed. So you can close your browser, close your laptop, desktop. You need not be sitting in front of your system at all. The orders will get processed whenever there's a signal coming in from your charting tool. Right. So the next step is to get into the chart. So if you're using TradingView, then you'll need a subscription of TradingView for automation purpose, because the free version doesn't support the webhook URL. We'll be using webhook URL for sending the signals from TradingView to Algomojo as such. So the first step is to get the subscription, and then create an alert in trading for the strategy that you like to trade. Now we'll look at super trend as a strategy to check how to do the automation process. So the first step normally we recommend is to select the instrument. Since the markets are closed today, let's look at crypto market. They will be open just to get live feeds and live signals. We'll look at the crypto market. You'll not be able to place orders in crypto. Just to get signals, we'll be using the chart. of crypto. Yeah, this market is on. So load the instrument that you want to trade as a first step. Second step is to look at the time frame. So whether you want to trade in 5 minutes, 1 minute, or 30 minutes, whatever is the time frame that you're trying to use. If you're intraday, you would like to do it in a shorter time frame. Swing trader would like to do it in a longer time frame. Similarly, a swing cash trader would like to do it, maybe do it on a longer time frame. Select the time frame that you want to trade, then select the strategy that you would like to use. For example, I've loaded the super trend strategy. You can bring in any strategy which is available in trading. Suppose you have a strategy, you are back tested for those signals and found that the strategy is meeting all your trading and investment requirement in terms of risk and profitability and whatever are the other parameters, drawdown, etc. And you would like to automate those signals which are coming in from the strategy. And place orders whenever that happens. So you can bring in any strategy in trading. You get them coded also if required to generate the signals for entry and exits, and you will be able to automate those signals as such. So once you have loaded the strategy here, go to the strategy and click on this button, more button, and add an alert here. Select the alert against that strategy. So it will open a pop-up box. So you'll need to update certain things here. Now, if it's a strategy then that you're running and trying to automate, nothing much to be done. Go to this message box. By default, whatever is there, remove that. Then go to Algomojo and go to your strategy that you just created. You can view it here, come down, and copy this code which is there and place it into TradingView here in this message box. Give it a name. I will say NF demo 28th March and say apply. Okay, and then set. Sorry. Yes, once they have made some changes. I'm trying to figure out what is that. Where is that position for placing the webhook URL? One second. Just one second. Sorry. Yeah, we have a webhook URL here. Go to Algomojo, copy this webhook URL, come back here, and place it here. So these are the two copy paste that you need to do, right? So one is the message box content where we add this code, and under the notifications, we go to the webhook URL, enable this, and place the webhook URL. So these are the only two things that you need to do. So then say apply and save it. So your alert will be displayed here. So whenever there's a buy or a sell coming in, the orders will get sent across from TradingView into Algomojo. We will look at what is that you're trying to trade and place those, send those orders to the exchanges via your broker, and the orders will get executed. So these are the only two steps that are required for you to automate. Yeah, this is see, for selecting the strategy that you would like to run. For example, how do we get this trading view? Go to this. First step is load your instrument. It could be Nifty, it could be Reliance, it could be any instrument that you would like to trade, and then select the time frame. And for selecting the indicator or a strategy, go to this indicator section and then type out the name. Say, for example, you can say super trend. So, and select it from here. That's it. So it'll get shown and it'll get applied onto the chart that you're running. So it is as simple as that. Let me remove this or add this. Yeah. So this is where you search for your strategy. So it could be, or it could be any ready-made strategy that is available in TradingView, and you use them or adapt them for your trading. You can search from here and select it from that list. That's it. If it is something like UT bot, you can select from the UT bot list which is coming in. Or if it is a half trend, you can select the half trend strategy. There are so many of them which are listed. Some of them will be free, some of them will be at a chargeable basis. So if you have taken something as a subscription, so you will find it here. So get that listed. From this list, select the strategy and apply it on your chart. So once you apply it on your chart, say for example super trend is applied, go to this more button and add alert to that. So in terms of add alert, in this pop-up box, just click on this message box. By default, whatever is there, remove that, and from Algomojo, copy this and paste it. Yeah. Control C and Control V. Sorry, I didn't select it properly. Let me copy it here. Copy this and paste it here. And say apply, and in terms of go to this notification section, enable this webhook URL, copy the webhook URL from the strategy that you're trying to automate and place it here and say apply. Those are only two steps that are involved for automating any strategy. So update the message box content and link it with the webhook URL that you have created. These are the only two steps for the automation. There's no other thing that needs to be done at the trading view and a trading view chart, or it can be any other platform also. It could be charting also. Charting is even more simple. You don't even have to update the message box. All you have to do is copy paste the book URL and say buy or sell in terms of action status. That's it. Uh, and it could be MT4, it could be charting, it could be TradingView, it could be ME Broker, it could be any platform. Yeah. Now, this to explain the rules again. Now, if you are a trader and you'd like to take only buy signals, for example, and not to short or take any short position, then you would like to take only buy signals. Then use this rule called long only. So what will happen is when there's a buy coming in, it will take the entry for longs position. It could be futures, it could be cash market, it could be a CE buy, any of those. So when a sell happens, then it'll when a sell signal is generated, it'll close the long position and there'll be no new positions at all. So it will not take the reverse of the order, or it will not take the short position when the sell comes. Right. So that is if you want to take only long trades. Or the reverse of that would be, suppose you want to take only sell trades and not to take any buy trades. So use the rule called short only in Algomojo. So what it will do is it will wait for the sell signals to come in, to get generated. So when there's a sell coming in, it will reach Algomojo, and we know that you want to trade short only. So we will take a short position. And when a buy comes, we'll close the short position and there'll be no new open position as such. So this is long only or short only. This is how these rules work. Yeah, suppose that is what you want to say, buy only the long signals and sell only the then use the long only signal rule. Or if you want to take only sell um, signals, then use short only. Suppose you want to take both trades, long plus short, then use long plus short as the third rule, as the rule for configuring in Algomojo. What it will do is it will take an entry here, and when a sell coming in, it will take close the long position. And if you want to take a reverse position, you should have got this triggered to send two orders in your code itself, and then the short position will also be taken. Or if it is like something like super trend, when there's a long coming in, you want a long entry either in futures or in options. And when a sell comes, you want the long to be closed and the short to be taken. So it will close the futures and or close the CE and take a PE here, or take a short position in Nifty future. If your strategy is like super trend, always in trade, either long or short, then use the fifth rule called stop and reverse. So what stop and reverse does is when there's a long signal coming in, it will take the long entry, and when a short signal comes, for example, there's a long signal here, and when a short signal is coming in, it will close the long entry taken here and take a reverse of that. It will take the short position also. Suppose you are trading in option, it will take a CE here, it will close the CE and take a PE here, it will close the PE and take a CE here, and it will keep repeating between CE and PE and CE and PE whenever there is a signal of buy or sell coming in. That is how stop and reverse will work. So it's important to relate how the strategy is running to the rule, because if there's a mismatch and uh, correct rule is not used, then what will happen is that the orders will not be placed as per the strategy requirement, and the entire thing will go for a toss. So be pretty careful in terms of selecting the correct rule, which is very, very critical for effective running of your strategies from any platform. So ensure, if there's any doubt, you can always contact us, read through our documentation, look at some of the videos that we extend, and be clear in terms of how these rules work, and then configure them in Algomojo and in your trading codes also. So we normally find that there will be a mismatch in the kind of rule that users would have selected. So that is why we say that start with the paper trade, observe some of the trades happening, and once you find that the orders are getting properly placed as per the strategy that you're running, go in for live trade so that you don't end up making any kind of losses as such. So one more thing, when you're suppose you are an option buyer and you'd like to, and not a seller at all, then you can use the rule here, buy only, for example here. By default, let me take one more example. Say options. And segment will select dynamic. And here in the option type, you have buying, selling, hedge buying, or hedge selling. Suppose you are an option buyer, then use the buying, or if you want to write an option when there's a signal coming in. Suppose there's a long signal coming in and you would like to write a PE, use the option type as selling. So when there's a long signal coming in, we will write the PE for you. When there's a short signal coming in, we'll write the CE for you. So it will work that way. So be careful in terms of what you select. By default, it is set to option buying. So if you're an option buyer, so go with the default setting. If you're an option writer, then use this select selling in the option type. So it will write the option for you. Suppose you want to write an ATM option when the buy signal is coming in. So at the ATM, when the buy signal comes, it will write the ATM PE for you. Yes. Hope that is clear. Any queries? Anything else anybody would like to look at in terms of trading view automation? Any doubts in configuring this? Do let me know. I can show it again. You can bring in any strategy that you have in TradingView. It is not dependent on Algomojo for your strategies. You can bring in any strategy as long as it is generating the entry and exit signals. We will be able to automate and orders can be placed into your account by following the steps of alert creation, where you have to update the message box content and link it with the webhook URL. That's it. Yeah, next is what we have looked at as limit order functionality. That is the immediate thing which is going live from Monday, Tuesday kind of thing. And many more other features we are looking at adding or releasing in the coming days as such. Any other queries anybody would have, let me know. Uh, Trading view um, TradingView has got its own pros and cons, I would say. You might see a bit of a lag depending on the kind of instrument that you're trying to trade, because it's on a cloud platform. They're supposed to provide you with the real time prices as such. There could be sometimes, depending on the internet that you're running, where you're running it from, you might notice a bit of a delay. I'm not very sure that it's not supposed to happen. It has supposed the delay is supposed to be very very minimal, unless until if the market is very volatile and the price moves very fast, then it becomes difficult. Otherwise, you should be able to get a real time kind of pricing even in trading view. The the if you are a trader for whom the pricing is yeah, for every trader the price point is very very critical. And in terms of advantages and pros and cons that you need to weigh, I would place Ami Broker as the best of the uh, charting tool for processing any of your strategies and generating signals and sending it across, because you're running it. You can run it on your laptop or desktop, or you can host it on to a cloud platform of your own. You can take a AWS server or something, or VPS server, and then host it there, and then you have complete control in terms of running your ME broker and data feed. If you have a good data feed from a licensed provider, then I would say that you will find there's a much better advantage in terms of ME broker, the pricing that you see and what gets executed compared to any other instrument, any other charting tool as such. Um, yeah, next best would be your trading view, and then maybe MT4 or your charting kind of platforms. Each has its own advantages and pros and cons. So you'll need to weigh what look at what is more suitable for your kind of trading or investment requirement, and accordingly choose the right charting platform or the charting tool and the data feed or the strategies that you're trying to run. See, when you're running a watch list, if you are running it from TradingView, then you will need to add those watch list in both AMI Broker and also in TradingView. So if you're running multiple stocks, TradingView has got an additional facility where you can apply a single strategy onto a watch list. So suppose you have a watch list of 50 stocks and you're running super trend, and at a point in time, say signal could be generated in one or two trading symbols from that watch list. So, say if it is Yes Bank or HDFC or Reliance, you get signals on any of these instruments. Only those orders will get executed or sent across from TradingView for execution to Algomojo, and we will in turn get it processed. Similarly, a lot of people use charting, where they scan for hundreds of symbols, and very few symbols are traded every day. So if you have a watch list of say 2000 stocks, and you might get signals in say 5-10 stocks in a given day, so only those symbols where these signals are generated will be processed and sent across from your charting tool onto Algomojo, and we will process them for you. So meanwhile, while we were discussing, there's a cell signal which has got generated. Let's look at what has happened to this cell signal. So you can see here there's a cell which is coming at 11:13:01. Go to Algomojo, go to this tab called My Signals. So here you will be able to see all the strategies for which the signals have been generated. This is the strategy that we just created, NF Demo 28 March. As you can see, the signal has come in at 11:13:01. It's a sell order and it has got executed, and it is showing from which IP it has come. This is typically a TradingView IP. And what is the order placed? You can see that there's a short portion which has got triggered, multiple short positions, because we had selected 100 lots, and you can see that there's a 100 lot open position which is running. So this is 6,500, that is 100 lots, and it is paper trade. So if it is a live trade, then this P will not be there. You can make out that this is where you look at the orders, how they are generated. This will give a list of all the details, or list of all the orders processed using the API asset. If you have taken any manual orders, that will not be listed here. Only those which are triggered from your charting tool and it has reached Algomojo and we have sent it for processing, it will be shown here. So it looks like there's one order that has got generated. So there's a reversal. So there's a buy which is coming in. So you had a sell here, and there's a buy which has come in at 11:15:01, and you can see here that the sell came at 11:13, buy came at 11:15, and the orders have got executed, and you have a long portion which is running. Yeah, see, for all the trades that you're running, and um, in a day there are multiple trades that are taken, you can get a cumulative data from realized P&L for all the trades that have happened for that instrument here. You can get a summary as to how many trades have been taken place, right? How many orders was, what were the average prices, what are the P&L, all those details can be had from this place. Now, my recommendation to most people is that look at it as a perspective of placing orders using Algomojo, rather than looking at the real-time monitoring of P&L from here. Now, somebody was saying that there's a mismatch in what you see here as P&L and MTM. Uh, like we depend on the brokers to update this information of P&L and MTM based on the LTPs that they provide using the APIs. So there could be certain lag in terms of updation, but when you're comparing what you're seeing as a M2M on your mobile phone and to what is available on Algomojo, there could be a difference at the point when you're looking at. That is just because the delay or latency in the API updation. But the order execution, if you look at what is the average price, that is a real-time transaction that would have happened, and there'll be no delay as such. But the signal which came in will be sent across to your broker, and the average price at which it was executed will always be similar in your mobile terminal or your broker terminal or in your Algomojo terminal. So that you'll not find any difference in that. The difference I would normally see is in terms of updation of these figures only. But in terms of the actual execution of orders, you will not find any difference as such. No, see, whatever errors that would come in, for example, if you look at when you go to my signals and look at um, if there's an order getting rejected for whatever is the reason, it will be displayed here. Suppose there's an RMS issue in terms of margin availability. So that detail of the rejection for order is what is generated by the broker, and the same thing will be displayed under the status. Or it could be a mismatch in the quantity, or it could be that the markets are closed, or it could be that there's no open position. Any of those, whatever you see in the broker terminal in terms of the error message, the same thing we will be displaying it here. There's no difference in terms of the broker's error message and what you see on Algomojo, unless and until there's some things like you're not enabled paper trade or live trade. Those kind of things is more of Algomojo dependent. But in the live market, when there's an order getting rejected, what is the reason why the order has got rejected is determined from the exchange and the broker, and it will be sent across to us, which we will display it here. Yeah, in terms of quantity, if you want to base on the amount, we have a facility wherein if you are trading multiple stocks, and you, for each stock you would like to specify a certain capital allocation, and based on the last traded price you want us to calculate what are the quantity that can be bought. That facility is definitely available now, so you can update in the watch list the capital and against each of the instrument that you're trying to add or trade. And whenever there's a signal coming in, for example, if you're trading in Reliance and there's a buy signal which is coming in, the Reliance I think is priced around 1300 or something now, not sure the price. So if you have allocated say 10,000 as the capital, so 10,000 divided by 1300, we'll round it off to the nearest decimal point and then place those quantity for trading as such. See, in terms of limit orders, there are a lot of functionalities that can be built in terms of the time and the buffer percentage, those kind of things. In a initial stage, we will be having only in terms of price movement as such. So, what is the price at which it has to get triggered? What is the trigger price and what is the limit price? The other variants, not yet as such. Yeah. See, in AMI broker, if you are getting multiple buy signals and you want to exit all of them into one exit signal, multiple buys which have happened and one exit. Uh, Currently, no, using the platform asset. But if in case if you are an AMI broker user and you can refer to our library here, you can go to this library here and have those codes generated or included in your AMI broker code itself, right? Sorry. So in terms of exit, the ME broker can accumulate the quantity that it has placed, and then when the exit comes, it can send the quantity also from the chart itself. So those kind of flexibilities can be built into ME broker itself. But currently, whatever is the quantity that you define here under this is what you will get executed. Suppose your ME broker is sending, say, three buy signals, so it will buy 300 quantity, one after the other, 100 plus 100 plus 100. But when the signal for reversal comes, it will send only one signal of 100, then only 100 will get executed, another 200 will still be under the open position, so there will be a mismatch. Currently our system is not geared up to handle that kind of requirement. However, using AmiBroker, you can send the quantity for entry and for exit also. Uh, See, suppose you are a personal trader and you have taken a position in certain stocks long. Typically, your personal traders would look at buy and sell as such. You can't take a intraday short as such. So, uh, if there's a sell coming in for a particular stock, and if you're holding that stock, it will get executed from your holdings as such. So it will suppose you have got Reliance 10 quantity taken on Monday, and on say Thursday, sell for Reliance comes in. So those 10 quantity taken on Monday can get liquidated on Thursday or Wednesday whenever the sell signal is coming in. Hope that was your query. Yeah. So when you are creating a watch list, for example, this is the strategy we had just created. Now here you can add a watch list here. Yeah. So this we have created for Nifty. For let me create one more for stocks, for example, equity, and say so. I have created this for stocks. Here, go to watch list here, and you can add the capital here. For example, you can say, suppose you want to add Reliance. If the quantity is, one second. Suppose you're trading in very few numbers, say 5, 10 kind of thing, you can add it manually, each of those, and you can give an allocation of capital. Say, for example, for Reliance, you want to allocate 15,000. Order type is CNC, market price, and quantity, you can leave it at the default. Otherwise, if the capital is given, then we will know it is capital based. And whenever there's a buy signal coming in, so we'll add it here. You will be able to see it under the list here. So whenever there's an order coming in from say your chart to buy Reliance, we will look at what is the capital, and based on that, we will take that many quantity for trading purpose. So if the list is long, then you can use this upload download button. You can download this format. There's a format that we are given. Let me show you that. So you can create a CSV file and upload it. If the list that you're working with is large, then you can use a CSV upload also. No, MetaTrader, yeah, a lot of people use for Forex, but we currently don't support Forex as such. Sure, we will ask our team to get in touch with you, surely. Yeah, if you are using multiple time frames, say for the same instrument, whichever signals coming in first will get executed. Suppose you're taking a long entry in a 15-minute time frame at the morning on Monday, and there's a exit coming in the 1 minute chart, so it will get executed first. So for each of those, you will need to create a separate strategy and link it to the chart. one running at 15 minutes and the other one running at 1 minute. Yeah, currently MTF is not supported by us. It will take some time. So this is the format for uploading CSV files. So you can upload, suppose you have 100 stocks, you can list them here, give the quantity for each, quantity for each of the stocks here, save it, and then do an upload from here. Use this upload button. It will ask you to select this file, and then you can upload. The entire list will be shown here. You can, after that, if you want to edit, suppose you want to change the capital for Reliance and make this say 1,50,000 instead of 15,000, say update, it will get updated. Suppose you have 50 stocks and you want to make any changes, you can always do that. Suppose you want to remove something, you can just go here and say delete. It will remove that from the list. Any other queries, anybody? Yes, if you are using two different strategy, capital allocation is definitely possible. For each strategy, you create a separate um, watch list and then link it to the strategy. Suppose you are running on trading view, one strategy which is super trend, and say for Reliance you allocated say 15,000 at say 1 minute time frame. The other one is 15 minute, and you are running. You have allocated a capital of 15,000 or say 1 lakh asset. So create another chart, create another alert for Reliance, and run it on 15 minute, and run one on 1 minute time frame. Use two different webhook URL because you're running two different strategies on two different charts, one on 1 minute and the other one on 15 minute. Yeah, see, if you have given capital in the watch list, we will go as per the capital. In case if you don't give any capital, we'll go by the quantity that you would have mentioned in the watch list. And if there's a watch list allocated to a particular strategy, and we will always go with the watch list quantity and the capital. Yes, suppose you are using say a super trend, and one you are using running it on say 1 minute time frame, and the other one you are running super trend on a 15-minute time frame, and you have got different capital for each of them. You can run it accordingly. So first you create one strategy for running super trend on Reliance in 1 minute time frame. Create and link that to a particular strategy here. Go to Algomojo and create a strategy for Reliance 1 minute and create one more strategy for Reliance 15 minute. So use the webhook URL of 1 minute strategy onto 1 minute time frame chart, and for 15 minute time frame, use the other strategy that you would have created for 15 minutes. Use that webhook URL. So from the webhook URL that you're going to use, we will know which is linked to what. Suppose you are running this on 1 minute and you have linked XYZ as the webhook URL for this. So we will, whenever there's a signal coming in, we know that it is running on 1 minute and it is linked to XYZ, and whatever is the quantity that you have mentioned on XYZ, that quantity will get executed. And the other one could be ABC, which is running on a 15-minute time frame. So you will have a different webhook URL for ABC. So in that, maybe you're trading, say, 50 quantity. Instead of 10, you are running 50 quantity. So we will, when the signal comes from that 15-minute time frame strategy of super trend, we know that the signal has come from ABC strategy, which is running on 15 minute, and as per that it has to execute 50 quantity, so it will go and or place orders for 50 quantity. Yes, our team can assist you in terms of how to configure it in charting also, sir. Yes. I'll share the details as to how to connect with our support team. They will show you how to connect to, say a particular uh, say Reliance, you want to run it on say two time frames, having different quantities for each, or it could be watch list for different time frames. How to create them and how to link them, our team will assist you and show you in detail as to the kind of setup that one needs to take. I'll share the details of our support team. See, all brokers they provide the charts on charting only, but the broker provided trading view sorry all brokers use trading view charts, or they provide trading view charts in their terminals, but only it will have almost all the facilities except that they don't support webhook URL. So that's the only reason you will need to take a separate subscription of TradingView, and it can't be done with the broker provided TradingView charts as such. Okay. Any other queries? Anybody would like to have a look at any other specific thing in TradingView? Do let me. If you have any queries, kindly use the chat box to type out your query. Let me try and answer them. Yeah, pricing would be announced on Monday. I'm told it is in the range of what we are providing is not just a static API. We are providing a server for you, so which is a more robust kind of environment that we are trying to create for users. So there's an associated cost with it. The starting price would be around 700 for the single static IP server kind of infrastructure that we are going to provide. It could go upwards of 700 if you are looking at say two static IPs or multiple static IPs. So how to configure that? What are the details? What are the payment methods? Would be available on Monday for you. It is you will be able to find another tab if you go to Algomojo My API. You will be able to find another tab here called Static IP. On Monday morning, it will be visible. You need to go there and then do the next step of configuring the static IP in Algomojo. Take those static IPs and then configure it into your broker terminal also. How to do that? It is dependent on each broker. We will have a process document which will tell you the steps as to how to go about uh, updating your broker account, so that there'll be so that your API orders would get executed from 1st of April without any issues as such. Yeah. Um, So if you have a Telegram bot, let's see if I have it here in the system. It's a pretty simple process. Open your Telegram bot, and then against the strategies that you create. For example, we have just created one strategy here. Here, go to actions and under notifications, give the chart ID, Telegram chart ID. For example, here, go to this bot called Algomojo bot and say slash my. You can select this my chat ID, copy this, and paste it here for the strategy that you created, and say enable. If you want it for both signal and your signal process, you can enable both and say submit. You'll be able to see that there's a notification enabled here. So whenever there's a signal coming in and whenever there's an order getting executed for this strategy called stocks, you will get a notification on the Telegram bot as such. You'll get something like here, status signal received, paper trade, why it was rejected. Here I think the order was rejected because it was not enabled, the paper trade was not enabled, or the live trade was not enabled. What was the time and date when it was triggered? So such kind of details you can get it on Telegram app as such. Yes, not the complete uh, error message like what you saw here. Please enable live trade or paper auto trade. If it is RMS, then it will give you rejection saying that due to RMS or quantity mismatch. I think it will give you quantity mismatch. This is briefly about our support structure. So you can get in touch with us from 9 to 5 on all working days and from 10 to 5 on Saturdays. You can contact us using our WhatsApp number. It is 81055 or you can call us on 8550828 or you can raise the ticket from the login page which you had, or you can send us an email at support@algomojo.com. Depending on your urgency, you can use any of these methods. If it's very urgent, then you can get into a chat support like here. Uh, our teams will be able to log in using the remote control desktop control systems and then assist you in terms of do whatever setups or do any clarifications, do any other changes required online for you and help you in terms of your trading and investment journey as such. Yes. We are not. There are some courses that are currently running in our webinars team. I'll ask our team to get in touch with you and assist you in terms of what are the other live sessions that we do. We have something called an options hydra kind of live sessions that happen, a daily commentary kind of thing that happens. It is done by other team members. Um, they will be able to assist you in terms of how to get details about the other sessions that we have. Yes. Yeah. My name is Lokesh. I'm part of Algomojo team. In case you have any coding kind of requirement, or if you have any clarifications, or if you want any further details, feel free to send me an email. I'll be able to address and come back to you. And you can get more details about our company and all the key features and facilities in the blog, algomojo.com/blog. Okay, I will check with them any particular reason as to why it was not uploaded in the YouTube. You should be able to get access. I'll ask our team to get in touch with you, sir. Fine. If there are no other queries, we can conclude the session. So I request all to look at the static IP section on Monday morning when it is available on our systems, and do the configurations on Monday or Tuesday. It should not take more than 5-10 minutes for configuring, subscribing and configuring the API static IP requirements, and so that your trading will not be hindered from 1st of April when the systems go live with the static IP from the broker side. Thanks a lot, and have a nice weekend. Hoping to uh, see all of you again in the during the next session shortly. Thank you very much.